I'm Alfred, and this is Pasha, my 27-foot sailboat. I bought her without really knowing how to sail, and after a lot of trial and error, I pointed her across the Gulf Stream into the Bahamas. For months, I island hopped solo, fixing breakdowns, riding out storms, and sailing through some of the most beautiful water I've ever seen. It wasn't easy, but it was the kind of adventure I'd always dreamed about. After months in the Bahamas, I sailed the Pasha back across the Gulf Stream, this time without a working engine. I made it home the hard way, and once I was back in my home state, I had to step back and regroup and figure out what comes next. I'm back in Carolina Beach, a familiar place to me, in a state I'm proud to call home. After everything with the Pasha in the Bahamas, this is where I've come to regroup and figure out what's next. Carolina Beach sits just south of Wilmington, a laid-back coastal town with wide beaches, a busy fishing scene, and an inlet that leads straight out to the Atlantic. It's the kind of place where boats, salt air, and small-town charm all meet. I had a friend I met over a year ago in the Outer Banks, and he hooked me up with this awesome pier here in Carolina Beach. It's kind of been the HQ, and it's called the Hazard House. Met a nice guy here. He owns the house and has some nice dogs, and we've agreed that if I help with some projects around the house, that I've got a spot here. After months at sea, coming back hits different. Life out there was simple: wind, water, food, survival. Here, everything feels louder, faster, almost overwhelming. Now it's back to bills, back to making money and figuring out the next step. The trip already feels far away, like a dream I can't quite hold on to. It's a weird feeling. This is Pasha. She's a 1972 Ericson 27 sloop. She's 27 feet long with a 9-foot beam and a dry displacement weight of about 6,500 pounds. Since 2023, she's sailed over 5,000 nautical miles from Bay City, Michigan, through the Great Lakes, Erie Canal, and down the east coast of Florida. From there, she crossed the Gulf Stream to the Bahamas, cruising the Berry Islands, Abacos, and Exumas, all before returning to the U.S. She's been a great first boat and a great home for the past 3 years. So come on down and come take a look. Hey everybody, welcome inside the Pasha. She has been my home for the past 3 years of my life. She's very small, very simple, and she's taken care of me ever since. I'm gonna go through real quick and explain how I ended up with this boat, and then I'll show some quick photos and videos of the very small entirety of the boat. So we'll start here. In 2023, I had made a decision to get a sailboat, and I had a 36-foot catch on contract up in Michigan. So I was moving out of my house in North Carolina anyway, so I was giving away all my stuff that I'd never used. Anything extra I had, I was tossing, and then anything I couldn't get rid of, I just stuffed it into the back of my truck, packed up everything, and dipped, and I just drove up to Michigan. Before I even bought the boat, just had it on contract, was going to get a survey, moved out, headed up there. You know, I was committed fully. So I get up there, get the boat surveyed, and the surveyor pulls me aside and he's like, dude, I would not buy this boat. He said there's too much going on. You know, there's water damage in the deck. I think the keel had some water ingress as well. And he's like, dude, I wouldn't buy this boat. You're gonna hate your life for it. To do all this work for your first boat is just not gonna be fun. Took the dude's advice, ended up not buying the boat. But then I found myself up in Michigan, no place to stay, and just trying to figure it all out. So I was staying at Airbnbs every day, and then I would drive to the marina and stay there all day long and just talk and look. I was talking to a guy one day, his name's Joe, and Joe ended up being like the guy in town that you go and you ask questions about boats, because he is a sailmaker. He's been sailing his whole life, been repairing boats his whole life. This guy is like an encyclopedia. And so Joe gets to talking with me, and then we get to talking about what I'm here for. And he's like, I know a boat that's getting sold that you could accomplish your goals on, you know. And I was like, okay. we went and looked at it, and it ended up being this boat here. He knew both the previous owners, all the work that had been done to it in the past like 10 years or more. Yeah, he insisted it was a solid boat. You know, there'd been a lot of things done to it, and so I trusted him. Didn't end up getting a survey, and bought it right off of his friend Pat for a grand total of $5,250. So I bought her, kept her up there for the summer, and I've been living out of her ever since then. She's taken care of me. She's been a good boat, good first boat. She is very capable of doing small Caribbean cruises. Not much of an ocean crosser, so when it comes to future plans, if I do decide to do anything a little more intense, I will be looking for something a little bigger. But as far as doing some small stuff and being able to go off and go simple and go now, this has been the boat for me, and I'm grateful that I've happened to experience all these things on a boat this old, and it's been fantastic. So she's been a great boat, a great home, and hopefully we can have a couple more adventures together before things change. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been a pleasure being able to explain the beginning of my story and how I came to be on the Pasha. So, as many of you know that follow me on social media, Instagram is Sailing the Pasha. I also have a merchandise brand, and the story behind that and the art on these clothing is all on my website at pashasperch.com. So if you want to support the trip, like, subscribe, and then visit that website, pashasperch.com, and buy some merchandise, some shirts, and there's all sorts of stuff on there. So please go check it out. I appreciate your support, and hopefully bringing more content out soon.
Smile.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Sunset coming to Freeport, 40-pound fucking grouper.
Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
Hey guys, so it looks like this storm is just not going to make it up here. It's getting sucked out to sea. All we're getting is rain and a little bit of wind, not much wind at all. And so those upper bands are hitting us right now, and we're getting consistent, steady rain, but nothing like heavy or anything like that. So it looks like we're going to be in the clear.